Good morning, everyone, and welcome to today's service. And today we are going to chant Shishinrai and Junirai, and then followed by our pledge, and then Dharma Talk, singing of Shinshu Shuka verse 1. So this is the contents of today's service. So please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Nam. Shin 観音頂戴観地宇治主十名総法将軍ノブクゲド馬ケウマンオガチョウライミダソン無ビムク交渉上修徳慶受女国調査利悪徳自在高雅将来みだそん実法名門菩薩衆無料小魔女三段一生主上願力自高雅将来みだそん根体法見地小家前言少女名大座おひざ上行船の高雅将来みだそ実法将来勝負し権限人図し安楽戦後尊厳上苦行高雅将来みだそ小無常無我と薬業水願伝養老一種説法無名字高雅将来みだそん二尊仏説無悪名薬無行銀悪道夫衆銀死神教非尊高雅将来みだそん二尊無量法勉強無償修悪知識往生不退死菩提高雅将来みだそん仮説非尊功徳寺修善無変如海水小逆前言少女者衛生種上小非公ナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブナマンダブ願儀式読 Namanda, 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 Namanda. Now we are going to read our pledge. Our pledge. Breaking out of my shell, I will share a warm smile and speak gentle words just like the kind Buddha. Not becoming lost in my greed, anger, and ignorance. I shall think and act with an open mind, just like the calm and peaceful Buddha. Not putting myself first, I will share in the joy and sadness of others, just like the compassionate Buddha. Realizing the gift of life I have received, I shall strive to live each day to its fullest, like the Buddha who tirelessly works to liberate all. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namo. And now, I would like to share the words of Shinran Shonin from one of his letters. So please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together again. なお良いも冷めやらぬに、重ねて良いを進め、毒も消えやらぬに、なお毒を進められ候らんこそ、浅ましく将来。煩悩具足のみなれば、とて、心に任せて、右もすまじきことをも許して、いかにも心のままにてあるべしと申しおうて相談こそ、返す不憫に覚え将来。酔いも冷めぬ先になお酒を進め、毒も消えやらぬに、いよいよ毒を進めんがごとし。薬あり毒を好めと候らんことは、あるべくもそうらわずとぞ覚え候と。How lamentable that people who have not fully awakened from drunkenness are urged to more drunkenness, and those still in the grips of poison encouraged to take yet more poison. It is indeed sorrowful to give way to impulses with the excuse that one is by nature possessed of blind passions, excusing acts that should not be committed, words that should not be said, and thoughts that should not be harbored, and to say that one may follow one's desires in any way whatever. It is like offering more wine before the person has become sober, or urging him to take even more poison before the poison has abated. Here's medicine, so drink all the poison you like. Words like these should never be said. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu. Good morning again, everyone. And usually this is a Labor Day weekend and many people travel, but I am not sure how everyone is doing this year. And one thing I am sure is that this online service is really nice, that wherever you are and whenever you are able to join the service. And of course, I miss seeing everyone, but it became one of my custom to check the numbers of COVID cases in Oregon every day. And looking at the number of the cases, I don't feel safe to open the temple yet and have Sunday services in person. Since the vaccination began beginning of this year, I was wondering what the numbers of breakthrough cases and how severe the symptom of the COVID would be for the breakthrough cases. Now, Oregon Health Authority is offering the information once a week, I believe, and 15.9% of weekly cases of COVID last week were breakthrough cases. And I am not sure if this number is going to be higher or lower in weeks, but this proves that even though I received full vaccination, I still have to be careful. So what I can do to protect myself and my family and friends, that is to wear mask, wash hands, use hand sanitizer, and avoid crowded place. That is all I can do for now. One of my favorite bands, Dream Theater, they are, progressive heavy metal band, but they're coming to Portland for the first time in the years. So I purchased tickets a few months ago when the COVID cases were much lower. But now I don't know if it's a good choice to go to the concert where many people gather. They require the proof of vaccination, but I guess I have to really look closely to the cases and decide whether I go or not. But anyway, these breakthrough cases reminded me of the words of Shinran Shonin I shared at the beginning. Some people act as if the vaccination is the path for freedom, and they can do whatever they want to do after the vaccination. But the vaccine only lowers the possibilities of getting severe symptoms by COVID. It is the same for the path of Shinjin, Entrusting heart, other power Nembutsu. Although it is all the working of Amida Buddha to make us attain birth into the Pure Land, make us attain enlightenment and Buddhahood, it is not that we can do whatever we want to do. As Shinran Shonin reminded us, here's medicine, so drink all the poisons you like. Words like these should never be said. So receiving Shinjin and trusting heart doesn't mean that our blind passions, such as the three poisons of greed, anger, and ignorance, disappear and it's forever gone. Well, we can do whatever we want to do because there is a great medicine of Amida Buddha. Rather, Jodo Shinshu is more like receiving Shinjin and trusting heart is the beginning of the life of self-reflection. Amida Buddha established the primal vow to save all beings, regardless of beings' abilities. That is because there are beings like me who cannot abandon the blind passions of self-centeredness. And I didn't know that I was swinging the stick around in the darkness. But when my figure, my nature is illumined by Amida Buddha's light of wisdom, I realized that what I was relying on was self-centered actions, and I was hurting people's mind by my own actions. And when we begin to fully rely on the working of Amida Buddha, we begin to see more about ourselves. My greed, anger, and ignorance, these three poisons are still here. That's really lamentable. But at the same time, I feel deep gratitude towards Amida Buddha for grasping and never abandoning me because of this nature of me not being able to abandon the three poisons. So receiving Shinjin and trusting heart doesn't mean that our blind passions disappear. It is just as same as the vaccination. Receiving vaccination doesn't mean that we don't get COVID anymore. And the life of person of Shinjin and trusting heart is the life of Nembutsu. We become more mindful of the working of Amida Buddha's great compassion and recite Nembutsu with gratitude. So, although I didn't grow up in Shimane Prefecture, my home temple is in Shimane Prefecture. And with my magical power again, now you see the Japanese map right here. And I have put famous cities like Tokyo and Kyoto to see where Shimane Prefecture is. And I spent most of my youth in Ishikawa Prefecture, Kanazawa City. And Ishikawa Prefecture is known for the people like D.T. Suzuki, Kitaro Nishida, and Otani-ha scholars like Reverend Haya Akegarasu and Reverend Daisen Takamitsu. Hideki Matsui, you know Hideki Matsui. You may know Hideki Matsui, former Major League Baseball player. Other famous people from Kanazawa could be me, but just kidding. But it was D.T. Suzuki who introduced Myokongin, the person who deeply enjoyed the Nembutsu teaching, like Saichi Asahara. And Saichi is from Shimane Prefecture. And his home is only less than an hour away from my home temple. And Saichi was really famous in town as the person of Nembutsu or person of Shinjin. So Saichi, he refused it many times, but the painter drew a portrait of Saichi. And when the painter finished drawing the portrait, he showed it to Saichi. Then Saichi said, "No, this is not me. You should add 2 horns on my head." And Saichi made painter write 2 horns on the head. And Saichi realized his true nature of being attached to the self-centered blind passions through encountering the working of Amida Buddha. And he made the painter draw the horns to express his self-centeredness. So this is not the original portrait, but there is a scroll of Saichi in my home temple. And I asked my father to send a picture of it. So, you see it here. And as you see, the horns coming out from his head. And this is really interesting portrait. But anyway, Saichi, he was a good poet, and he wrote many poems. But I would like to introduce one of them today. 南無阿弥陀仏は良い鏡、法も見えるぞ、木も見える。浅ましい浅ましいありがたい。阿弥陀の心見る鏡。南無阿弥陀仏 is good mirror. We see the Dharma, we see the self. Lamentable, lamentable. Grateful, the heart of Amida, the mirror to see. So I translated the poem line by line so that, last 2 lines should be the mirror to see the heart of Amida. But, I left it as is. And through being mindful of Amida Buddha's working, we see the self. Just like Saichi made the painter draw the horn on the head, we are, or at least I am, full of blind passions, which will not be exhausted throughout my life. But the Dharma, which refers to the teaching of Amida's primal vow, is the teaching to save all beings. And this being who is full of blind passions is the main target of this teaching of the primal vow. So when we see the self, we feel that is lamentable. But at the same time, we feel how grateful the working of Amida Buddha is. So Jodo Shinshu, we emphasize the importance of receiving Shinjin, entrusting heart. But receiving entrusting heart is not the end of our spiritual journey, but rather it is the beginning of the path of self-reflection and gratitude. And when our lives comes to an end, we attain birth in the Pure Land, the realm where we attain enlightenment and Buddhahood. So our daily lives, even though there is a great medicine of Amida Buddha, we be cautious of our own actions through listening to the teaching and be mindful of the working of Amida Buddha with reciting the name Namo Amida Butsu. So, I wanted to talk about this today because some people really misunderstand that vaccination, receiving vaccination means, they can do whatever they want to do, but it's not the way it is. And receiving Shinjin, entrusting heart, after, receiving Shinjin, entrusting heart, people can do whatever they want to do. That's also the misunderstanding too. And I saw some kind of similarities here. So I wanted to talk about this topic today. And I hope today's talk was helpful. And in closing, please join me in Gassho. Please put your palms together. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda. And now we are going to sing Shinshu Shuka, verse 1. 1, 2, 3. 深き実りに相祭る身の幸なぎにたとうべきひたすら道を聞き開きまことのみ胸いただかん。Shinshu Shuka. I express deep reverence to the Dharma. To what shall I liken my happiness? By listening earnestly, I opened the way and received true compassion. Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda Butsu, Namanda. So this will conclude today's morning service, and not tomorrow, next week, September 12th is the opening service for the Northwest District Convention, and the service will not be on this YouTube channel, but we will stream the service from a different YouTube channel. And I guess if you go to Oregon Buddhist Temple's website, you are able to check the site for it. And if you haven't registered for the convention yet, please go to Oregon Buddhist Temple's website to register for the Northwest District Convention too. And 12th is going to be the opening service, and then closing service will be September 19th on the same YouTube channel of the Northwest District Convention. So we are not going to stream the Sunday service 2 weeks in a row on this YouTube channel, but please check Oregon Buddhist Temple's website for more detailed information. So thank you all for attending today's service. And also, sorry, I forgot to mention, we are not going to have Dharma exchange next week because of the convention. So please make sure you are not waiting for the Dharma exchange in front of your computer. Okay, so thank you for attending, and I hope you will have a great week, and I hope to see you at the convention. So thank you for attending.
Mm-hmm.